What's up, kings and queens? How's everyone doing? I hope everybody's staying safe. It is midnight here in Las Vegas. Actually, it's 12:06, and this is Delphi After Dark. The reason why is because, like I said in my last couple videos 2 nights ago, I had a nightmare about the Delphi case, and literally for the last 2 days, I've been off work. I just been on the computer trying to get as much information and as much details as possible. Excuse me. And I'm doing live today. I don't ever do live videos, so kind of nervous. But this case has just been bothering me for a long, long time, and it's just been bothering me even more lately. So I am going to be sharing the screen. Something really rubbed me wrong. Let's show you guys something real quick. So these text messages, I've seen these text messages before, but I never really remembered them when I was doing my videos or anything. I never really remembered the text messages. I never really remembered going back and looking at them or anything. But then I was watching a video earlier and, apparently the killer left 3 different signatures, and one of them apparently was a religious type form. I don't know what that means. He left a rosary or how the girls were set up. Apparently Libby, I get emotional about this case. Apparently Libby was attacked worse, and her clothes were off, and it's just horrible. But I went back to these text messages, and apparently it just was just weird to me. So, David, you told me you found the girls. I just want to confirm the second person who was with you was Ivan, and the third was a lady. No, my sister's husband. And then we called 2 county deputies, Drew Roder and Darren Gross. I can't even pronounce that last name. Coroner's report stated everything was over by 3:30 p.m., 3:30, and no rape. But I was told the report was not released. I did hear that as well, that Libby was not raped, neither was Abby, but that doesn't mean they were abused in different ways. So you know that you were doing sure and knew what they were doing with Abby. It was personal with Libby. Yes, I heard Libby had the most of the injuries, which I have heard that as well. It could be that she was trying to defend Abby and she was bigger. That's exactly what I said in the last video that I did, that Libby was bigger. She was an athlete, and I think she was trying to protect Abby. I thought maybe at first the girls tried to run away, and that's when Libby lost her shoe originally, because she did lose her shoe. I believe it was a black Nike shoe. And then I thought, you know what? I think she stayed back and tried to protect Abby. Abby was so tiny. Was an inch away from being taken completely off. Abby was stabbed in the. I can't see that. Oh, it's not gonna let me zoom in. I can't even read this part right here. Libby and Abby was placed there to the ground like a doll hood up hands, folded, wearing the same clothes as a pic from the bridge. Okay, so that is different for me, because I was told that Libby didn't have any clothes on, and there was like sticks and leaves and stuff trying to cover her top area, like they were trying to hide her or something, or trying to cover her up here. So that really didn't give me the information that I wanted. Okay, so let me go back to this. Okay, so here we are. back at the crime scene area. Now, this is what I heard the other day. I heard that now I don't know if this is true. This wasn't something that was confirmed or anything, but the killer went back to the scene of the crime that very night when the search was called off. And apparently somebody around 2 a.m. heard screaming around that time. Now, from the coroner's report, from what I saw in the text messages, it showed the girls were murdered by 3:30. Now, I don't know if somebody actually did hear screaming on the other side of the bridge. That was in a text message that I saw, I believe it was. Not that one that I showed you, one earlier. But apparently they're saying the video that I saw is that they believe that the killer went back to the scene of the crime that very night. Now, this is what I don't understand. Why did the police call off the search? And did everybody leave? I know my daughter will be 2 years old tomorrow. If I don't care if she was 20, if she disappeared in this kind of area, there's no way you're going to be able to drag me away from there. I'm going to be searching all night, all day, no matter how cold and how dark it is. The girls were apparently found right around here in this area. Now, in the audio, apparently, got my voice. In the audio that was not released to the public, apparently there was Abby asking Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Libby responded by saying, like that. And then you can actually hear Libby saying, this is where the trail ends. There's nowhere to go. And I believe Abby said back, where are we going to go? Okay. Now, I know you guys heard me in videos. I talked about this many, many times. My original thought is that the girls were followed a few minutes after they were dropped off. They were dropped off around this area. And they started walking, and I had a feeling they were followed starting around here. Not even maybe around here, right when they got past in here in this area. That's where I figured they were originally followed. Now, and then they got to right here. Now, the picture of Abby on the bridge, I actually just responded to somebody on my last video about this. It does look like in a way there's someone way behind him, but then in a way it doesn't. It's what I look at that photo 100 times, and I just can't tell if there's anyone out, down there or not. But then the girls make it to the bridge. But apparently this property owner right here at 12:30 went to walk her dogs towards the bridge and ran in to Bridge Guy and had a conversation with him. Okay, and she described him pretty much to the T of the video of the man on the video on the bridge that Libby recorded. And then apparently at noon, even before that incident, Bridge Guy was seen over here in this area by, I believe, a 16-year-old girl who was kind of creeped out by him. Now, I don't know if that's been confirmed. That was just on a video that I recently saw, and that was the first time I heard it. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that, if you guys heard it before. If you have, definitely let me know, because I definitely would like to know if that's real or not. He was seen around here at 12, and then around here at 12:30. The girls weren't dropped off until 1:30 p.m. So that's an hour and a half. He was seen an hour and a half prior to the girls were dropped off. He was seen, and then an hour prior to they were dropped off. He was seen. Now, and then they had the small conversation. This property owner and Bridge Guy around here, and then she went back to her property after walking the dogs, and then he was seen heading back across the bridge. Now, it would make sense that he was there a lot earlier than the girls, trying to find out where he was going to do his crime at, waiting for somebody. A lot of people saying the girls they could have been targeted, they could have been catfished, which is definitely very possible. But at first I thought it was a random crime. I thought that the guy was out there to do it, I think he was on the hunt looking for somebody, looking for a female, looking for minors. Maybe probably knew there wasn't any school that day. I believe that he was living in Delphi at the time, or at least in the immediate cities, or staying with a family member or something like that at that time. God, this case, I mean, it just keeps me up. I mean, I just can't. And I don't know why specifically this case. There's so many cases out there that are unsolved, but I don't know if it's because I have a little girl or what. Now, I watched a video. I believe her name is Sunny. She's a YouTuber that goes over the Delphi case. She believes there was 3 killers. Okay, 3 killers. And that the 2 sketches are just 2 different people. She believes both sketches are correct, but she just thinks they're 2 different people. And I was like, that could be possible. I've heard that before, that there's possible of 2 killers. Me personally, I only believe there's 1, but she believes there's 3. She believes there's a young one, which is in the younger sketch of the photo, in the younger person in the sketch. She believes there was like 30, the original sketch, that guy around 40 years old, 45. And then she believes there's been an older person between the age of 45 and 50 who was waiting at the crime scene, was waiting for Bridge Guy to take him over there. Now, for some reason, I still only think there's 1 person involved, because I don't know. I just I guess on the evidence so far, since there's only 1 guy in the video, I don't know. I mean, I can't really give you an answer. But I've heard multiple people say that they believe Bridge Guy went there that very night after the original search was called off for the night. And that just gives me goosebumps, like he went back to leave his signature. He went back to leave his mark or what, because it was a short period of time from when the girls were abducted, murdered, and then him disappearing, or not disappearing, but apparently, the murders happened right here, and Cheyenne and Cheryl were on the bridge around the same time frame, maybe a little bit off, but they were already on the trail, and then Bridge Guy came back around this way and ended back up on the trail around here. And then he was seen by flannel shirt guy, who I believe is David McCain. Mr. McCain, I'll call him, because I'm not sure if David's his first name, around this area when he was heading back to his vehicle. And then Derek, Libby's father, shows up, and he runs into Mr. McCain. And he asked if he's seen the girls. He said no, but there are a couple on the bridge, who was Cheyenne and Cheryl. And Cheyenne and Cheryl described they saw the flannel. I can't even say the word flannel shirt. I can't even say it. Mr. McCain. I'll call him Mr. McCain. They saw Mr. McCain. They described him as an older white guy with white hair, hanging around like towards the end of the bridge. But apparently Mr. McCain saw Bridge Guy. This homeowner saw Bridge Guy, and a 16-year-old saw Bridge Guy. Now, the 16-year-old one, like I said, I never heard it before. The video I saw just recently said that, that was the very first time I heard about that. I don't even know if that's true. But apparently a 16-year-old saw him around here at noon. And she said she saw him. He looked creepy, kind of creeped her out, but he just kept going towards this area, towards Deer Creek. And then basically was just walking around, all this pretty much just waiting, trying to find the spot he was going to go to, because the spot where the girls were murdered, it's somewhat isolated, I would think, but it's still risky. You got the homes and properties looking over, you got the cemetery right here. I would think it would be risky. And God, this is why I like doing recording videos, babe, because like I get emotional when I talk about this case. At least when I do my recordings, I can go back and edit me crying and stuff out. now, now apparently, I think Bridge Guy had a gun. The reason why I think Bridge Guy had a gun, I don't think he used the gun to kill him, but I think he had a gun to control them. That's why in the audio, guys down the hill, he doesn't sound like he's yelling. He doesn't even sound like he's really being stern. He just sounds like he's telling them where to go. I thought for a long time he, could have catfished him maybe. I thought he told him, what I thought for a long time is that he tried to tell them they were trespassing, something in that nature, and that they needed to go down the hill or go around a different way. But then I thought, no, he probably had a gun on him at that moment, especially when Abby says to Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Now, that's where I was going to get at. Sorry, I went a little too far. I believe the original time that they were followed a few minutes after they were dropped off. Now, a lot of people disagreed with me on this. They believed that he was already on this side of the bridge, which is very possible. I could be wrong. I'm just saying the first time I thought about it, that they started following him around this point, right? They noticed him somehow. They saw him, in the wood, by the trees. Maybe he said something to him, or maybe he just, they were walking and then they turn around because, you could feel somebody's behind you or hear somebody. They turn around, they see him, and he just looks like a creepy guy, and then they just continue on. And then a few minutes after they get on the main part of the bridge, Libby takes a photo of the bridge. She posts it on her Snapchat. They get down more. She takes a photo of Abby. And that's where, bothers me too, because I try to look at that photo 100 times to see if there's somebody at the end. I just can't see it. And then they start, maybe she takes the one photo and then maybe he approaches after the photo. Maybe he starts walking on the bridge and they start going on. They start walking and then they keep going. And then he gets off the bridge. They get down, maybe around here. They see him walking kind of towards them or this way. I'm sorry, I don't know how the bridge really was, which part of the end of the property. Could even be done this way. Maybe following them for a little bit longer. And that's when Abby asks Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? She says, In the recording that Abby's mother heard, she heard Libby say, this is where the trail ends. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere else we can go. But apparently, in the same recording, Abby asks Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Libby responds back by saying, like that. And then apparently the gun thing. But I think that bridge guy got off the bridge, followed him a little bit longer, and then got back on the bridge to head back. And the reason why I think that is because he's just making sure he's double checking one more time that nobody's around here. Nobody will be able to hear anything. Nobody will be able to see anything. Just doing one more check. And then when the girls probably sat down for a few minutes, take a breath, rest, or maybe just, he got back on the bridge. Let him go. Let him get far from us. And then after a few minutes, they head back to the bridge. And then once they get to the bridge, they see him coming back. And that's when Libby takes out her phone and starts recording him. Because like I said before, we see creepy things all the time. But there's a reason why she took out her phone. There's got to be a reason why she took out her phone and started recording it. They knew something was really, really wrong. They knew something was up. And I know Libby was into investigation stuff. She wanted to be an investigator when she grew up, and her and Abby, but her having the instinct to actually take out her phone and start recording. Now, in my other videos, you guys hear me all the time, basically repeating myself 100 times saying, why did she take out her phone? Why did she take out her phone and record them? Because like I said, we see creepy things all the time, but we rarely take out our phones unless we know something's up. We just don't take out our phones and start recording somebody, unless something's up, especially something like that. I believe that something happened before she took out her phone and started recording, because if that was the first time she saw him, She could have just thought, oh, he's just doing the trail like dozens of other people do. There's a reason why she recorded that guy, you know. Now, that was my first theory. Okay. Then my other theory was is that the bridge guy was already on this side of the bridge. You know, just like many other people believe that he was already on this side of the bridge. And then when he got across, when they got closer, he passed them on the bridge, or even when they were getting off, he got on. And then he went to go double check, make sure nobody was around. And then when he was coming back, they were already back from the end of the trail. And then they see him walking back. And that would make probably, worry you a little bit. Like when they first passed him, maybe he said something to him. Maybe he tried leading them somewhere first before he got back on the bridge. And then, she knew something was up when they were walking. That was weird. You know what? That guy's like weird, and just for some reason while they were walking. And then when they start heading back, he's walking back towards them. And then she's like, he was already on the side of the bridge. It's a dead end. That would be creepy. That's why she would take out her phone and start recording them. And then he takes them over here. Now, 3 signatures. That's apparently this crime scene was extremely, extremely odd. All murder scenes are odd, but apparently this one was just a little bit more odd. And apparently they have a bunch of evidence. Oh, well, I wouldn't say a bunch, but, quite a few evidence. Apparently, from what I've been told, is that the girls were stabbed. Now, what I don't understand is if their mouths weren't taped or anything, how did Cheyenne and Cheryl not hear them scream? I'm going to start crying, babe. I'm not going to be able to do this live. It's starting to get to me already. Hold on. The reason I'm trying to hold it. I don't know if anyone's watching right now because I'm just on the map, but if nobody is, I'm deleting this video. But when you're being stabbed, or watching your best friend, pretty much your sister, get stabbed, you're going to scream. You're going to cry. How would Cheyenne and Cheryl not hear them? Unless they didn't get to this part until afterwards. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. I thought while the murders were taking place, they were around this point. Or maybe they arrived at this point when they were already gone. Now, some people have said that they took the girls. Okay, they took them somewhere, killed them, and then brought them back. I disagree with that big time. That's just me. Apparently, the police said the girls were killed where the bodies were found, but I don't think that they were taken, then killed, and then brought back. And the killer coming back that very night. No, I know I repeat myself on this. I know we should have went into it a little bit more, but I mean, that's risky. I just don't see him doing that, because he knows the police are already out there searching for the girls. There's volunteers out there searching for the girls. I would think that there would be a cop somewhere nearby that area. I know I saw other text messages where apparently, there were people out there and they heard screams on the other side of the bridge. They called the cops, but all the cops were busy. Like, what? You got 2 young girls who disappeared at this time. It's late at night. It's cold. They didn't have like big time jackets on or anything. And they disappeared around this area. You get a call saying that there's screams and stuff and you're busy. I don't know what they could have been busy on at that. I don't know what their 911 was calls that night or what. But I would assume there would have been a police car around here somewhere. Just in case they found the girls, if the girls were, let's say they were hurt. Okay, let's say they weren't murdered, and the cops, were waiting, hoping they would just pop up somewhere. Maybe they were hurt and they were walking and then the cop, was there to pick them up and take them to the hospital. I mean, I would just assume there would be a cop around that area, So why would he go back, or people still searching? You would think the families or friends or volunteers would be out there literally all night. I mean, no matter what time it was, no matter how cold it was, I mean, your baby's out there alone, with her friend. That's how I look at it. I don't know. I mean, this whole case, I mean, for the last 5 years, it's been almost 5 years. And babe, we're gonna be trying to go out there next month around the anniversary. We're gonna be flying out there and you know, in their honor and stuff. It's just something that we really, really want to do. But that's why I don't understand. It just bothers me how the search was called off. Why would the search be called off? Why would the search be called off? You got two little girls out there. It's cold. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me why the original search was called off. I get it. At first, nobody was really worried. At first, they thought the girls, might have just gotten hurt or wandered off or just got lost. They weren't thinking that they were murdered. But then apparently, Abby's mother, her Libby's mother, say Libby is terrified of the dark. She doesn't like the dark, and she wasn't in warm clothes. And that's when Abby's mother started like really worrying, like, okay, something's wrong. Something's really wrong. Apparently, the group that found the girls, one of the searchers was was using like a Zoom app, and I guess he thought he saw a deer or some kind of animal, and then it turned out to be the girls. Now, let me see this. Real quick. Okay. So share, and then share. And then let me go here. I think it is 12:7:20. Yeah, this one. Okay, so I actually saw this earlier today. They were not bound. They were touching, but not tied together. Abby was dressed. Libby was nude. Libby's top half was covered with leaves and sticks, almost like they were trying to cover her. I saw that as well, a long, long time ago. And I'm assuming that's the person that found her. I don't know the name of the people that found her. Do you by chance know, babe, the people that found them? I believe it was like one guy and three women, or one guy and two women, or something that found them. I can't remember. Yeah, it was definitely a guy that found him. I know that. A family member? Okay. But I read this and God, this bothers me. This case, I mean, this is definitely just a hard thing. I mean, these two little girls didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it's so not cool. All right, let me show up Bridge Guy himself. I don't ever do live videos, but first time for everything. All right. There we go. Well, it's definitely not my first time, but okay. Open the tab. There we go. Let's exit this out. And get that out. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna go to BG. BG himself. Son of a bitch. Okay, here's Bridge Guy. All right, it's not gonna let me zoom in. Now, for the longest time, I thought this part right here was like the bottom half of his shirt. Honestly, I thought this part, or it could have been like a shadow, but apparently, recently I was told or saw in a video, of course, that that's actually like a deer hunting pouch. And then when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that could be a pouch. But look how he's got his hands in his pockets. Okay, everybody sees that really well, right? And the way he's walking, he's got his head down, and he's looking at the gaps and stuff. You can tell he's walked this bridge. I mean, easily. I mean, he's moving pretty quick. I mean, he's moving at him. This I thought was one of those like hats, those like winter hats. I'm trying to think like who like wearing the movies. Those like hats they got the things that come down on the sides, like little ear blockers or something. That's what I thought it was at first, because it looked like that right here. But apparently it's like a hoodie of some sort or his hair. I don't think that's his hair. It's not gonna let me zoom in. Well, the one picture that I put on my video, it's like a very close up. Let me see if I can get that. It's like a close up, and everybody says he doesn't have blue eyes. They look blue to me. Here, let me pull that up. I mean, they look really blue to me when I look at it. I'm like, whoa, those are definitely blue. His face. I really hope this case gets solved. I mean, yeah, it's been so long. I mean, honestly, I think the police are really hoping for like a confession or somebody to turn Bridge Guy in. Honestly, that's what I think they're hoping for. Here it is, right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, got it. All right, now let me pull that up. Here we go. There he is. The son of a bitch. But right here, that looks like a blue eye to me. I know you can't really see it on my screen really well, and it doesn't let me zoom in on this. But that looks like blue eyes to me right there. That looks like a blue eye. That's what I see. And apparently the witness said that he does not have blue eyes, and whoever did the, exam for the face, the specialists, FBI and apparently Disney Studios got involved to try to analyze the face and use their computers and stuff. And the property owner who had the conversation with them said he definitely did not have blue eyes. That looks like a blue eye to me. I don't know if it could be the light. I mean, but that looks like a God, man. I wish there was a way. You would think by the year's 2022. I was about to say 21. 2022. You would think that they would be able to like get this clear as day by now. Well, I'm serious. I mean, the year's 2022. They found Bin Laden. They can find, people, but they have a voice. They have pictures like crazy. They have video, and they have more audio than what they release. I believe that they have more audio than what they release. They dress somewhat similar. That is true because the Ron Logan, who passed away, he was wearing the same thing. That's why when I first, got involved with talking about the case and stuff, and first heard about the case, I thought for sure it was him. I was like, God, he's wearing the outfit right there, and the stomach, the guy's heavy set. But me personally, I think Bridge Guy is a lot older than 18. Yeah, I think he's a lot older than 18, me personally. But according to some people, there's more than one killer. I think there's only one. That's just my personal opinion. But apparently he's only 18, or he's between the age to 18 to 40. That's a little see for me, because that first sketch looked identical to that to me. That looked really clear. When it comes to this case, I mean, we all get really emotional about this case. All of us, everybody that is trying to support this case, everyone that's trying to help this case, and that's just really been, keeping up to date about this case. And every single time new information comes, we all just go for it. And like I said in my videos, when it came to James Bryan Chadwell, we were all like, boom, this could be the guy. the tattoos, he lived close by. I personally thought, this is a good chance. I was like, this could be our guy. You know, now with this freaking prick Keegan Klein, who was out here in Vegas. Can you believe that? He was actually out here in Vegas. I mean, we didn't know about him at the time, but I wish to God they were looking for, like, if they released his photo and said his whereabouts is in Vegas. Oh man, I wish to God we would have known. Really, he's in jail now, but not for the Delphi thing. But I mean, have they even talked to him? I mean, I haven't heard anything for over a month. All I heard is that he made a fake account under Anthony Shots and apparently was in contact with Libby in December of 2016. 2 months prior to the murders, he was in contact with her. And actually a lot of people believe that the girls were catfish. It's weird because over a year ago, I think it's been over a year, when I did my first Delphi video, someone emailed me and said the girls were catfish. That's what she believed. She's like, I believe the girls were catfish. They were trying to meet somebody out there. And I even said, there's no way. There's no way the girls were trying to meet anyone out there. They went out there themselves. There was no school. It was just the two of them. They weren't out there to meet anybody. No boy, no girls, no friends. They went out there themselves. They were going to do the quick walk, trail. Libby's father was going to pick them up, and that would be it. There wasn't any school. They were out, huh? That's true. I mean, I that's what I still believe. I do. Well, I guess I could say the catfishing thing could be really possible, but I mean, for the longest time, I actually thought that the girls were they weren't catfished. I thought the catfishing thing was way off. To be honest, I was like, "There's no way. There's no way. There's no way." I mean, now I'm believing it a little bit, but I mean, at the time, I was thinking, there's no way. I can't believe Luna's 2 years old today. It's 12:43, 12:43, and doing live videos. But this case just literally keeps me up. It's like I don't know why. Like I have nightmares about it. Like I'm constantly thinking about it when I'm at work. What was that noise? Oh, when I'm at work, I think about it. I mean, it's like I'm obsessed. I mean, for real, and it's like I feel like just like, man, it's like I just want to help. That's why I want to go out there so bad, just to actually go out there, and I mean, I know we're not going to be able to do anything to help when we go out there, but at least, I mean, I don't know, just show the respects, huh? Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I look at the maps on the Google Maps, I'm like, I don't know, because there was an old CPS building around there where there was a car parked and they're trying to find out the car and stuff like that. They're trying to find out the information about the car. And I don't know where that's at on the map. I mean, there's other people that do. Every other video you see does, because they have the idea, they've been involved with the case for a while and stuff like that. But me personally, I just have what on Google Maps. I know the bridge. I know where the girls were dropped off. I know where the murders actually happened. I know that about the homeowner that communicated with them, stuff like that. That's what I know. But, I don't know the area. But apparently she lived less than 10 minutes away from the trail. She lived 10 minutes, within 10 minutes away. 7 minutes total. She lived 7 minutes away. Libby did. That's what I was recently informed. I'm not 100%. But yeah, she lives 7 minutes away. And then I heard the rumor, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Libby's family was involved in narcotics. And apparently there was some tattletaling or some debts owed or something, and that they were actually being harassed or threatened to pay up or give them what's due or something prior to the murders. Apparently Libby was actually targeted because of her family. That I think is not true at all. I don't believe that's true whatsoever. I personally have known some dealers in my day, some big time connections in my day. They wouldn't hurt your kids because you owe them. They would just hurt you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. That's just my personal opinion. I could be terribly wrong, but until there's arrest made, there's nothing we can do. I mean, me personally, I think the police are really hoping for a confession somehow. I hope that I think they're pretty much hoping for someone to turn them in, but they get thousands of tips a day. I mean, I'm, what if they got the right tip and they get so many, they're just not able to keep up with them. At one point, out of all those tips, maybe one of them was the right one. I know Homeland Security had to like give them like equipment and stuff to keep up with them, but I don't know. I don't know how they keep up with them. I don't have that information, but I don't believe that the parents owed money or something where the girls were harmed. I think it was a random. I think that guy was out there to do that crime. I think he was by himself. You got to remember, if there was 2 or 3 other killers, it's hard for one person to keep a secret, let alone 3. Even if there was 3, if they get arrested for something else, they can snitch, make a deal or something. I would think. Me personally, I think there was only one killer. I think he had a firearm. That's how he was able to control both of them. Hold on. Yeah, how? Because the gunshot, if there was a gunshot, there couldn't have been a gunshot. There couldn't have been. Because, let's go to this. That would be way too loud, especially out there. Okay, so let's say this is where the murders happen, supposedly, right? Right in this area. I mean, there's no buildings or anything around here. If there was a gunshot, you would be able to hear it for miles. Unless it was a 22 or maybe a silencer or something. But even with the 22, they would have been able to hear it around here for sure. Now, apparently, yeah, what I don't understand is if they didn't have duct tape or anything over their mouth, how did nobody hear the screams if they were being stabbed? And if there was one killer, if he didn't tie him up, how was he killing one of them? And did he probably knock one out? Maybe he knocked one of them out. Maybe he knocked Libby out. That's why she was more attacked. She had the most injuries. She probably was knocked out. He probably hit her in the head with the gun to knock her out. And attacked Abby, because she was smaller. She was smaller. So he attacked her, and then yeah. This son of a bitch. Excuse my language. I know I'm not supposed to cuss on these videos, but I mean, they weren't even doing anything. They never harmed anyone. And there's people like this everywhere. Everywhere. There's people like this everywhere you go that want to harm and hurt little kids for nothing. They don't know, they don't hurt anyone. There's what my mother always told me when she was alive? There's no such thing as bad children, only bad adults. Now, don't get me wrong. There's children that have done some horrible things, but that's what she used to tell me. I mean, at that age, they didn't bother anyone. And apparently, I was watching one of the videos where Libby's mom was doing an interview, and she said that she was even informed that maybe the girls saw something that they weren't supposed to see because she heard there was a lot of narcotic stuff out there, or the killer thought the girl saw something. Now, you got to remember, if this guy was on crystal meth, I mean, who knows what could have been going through his mind. Let's say he was on crystal meth. Let's say that theory was true. I mean, he could have, they probably not, they didn't see anything, of course, but he could have believed they did. Crystal meth messed your head. But I believe he was out there to do that crime. I think he I mean, it was isolated enough. It's risky. It was risky, but he didn't care. He didn't care. What's weird is that if they got DNA, the guy's never been arrested. They got, that would have came up. The fingerprints they supposedly have, that would have came up somehow. I mean, I don't know how Delphi's laws are, but I know out here in Vegas, when you get arrested, that's the first thing they do is take your DNA. I mean, I've never been, but I just know that's what they do. I mean, this is just so horrible. And I literally just can't stop trying to figure it out, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would he do this? I mean, he's a sicko. That's why he did it. He's a freaking sicko. But why would she pull out her phone if he was already on this side? Maybe they passed him on the bridge. Maybe he tried to lure him somewhere beforehand. There's got to be a reason why she did that. That's why I thought he started following him from the get-go. That's why in a way, I still believe it. I still believe that, he started following him from early on. Everybody says over here that he was already on the side of the bridge. I believe at one point he was already on the side of the bridge when he was talking to this property owner right here, when she was walking her dogs. But then he was seen going back. And I'm sure he went back and forth within that hour because she saw him at 12:30, 12:40. The girls were dropped off at 1:30. Talked to him for 5-10 minutes, maybe, a small conversation. And then he went back, so by the time it's 1 o'clock, let's say 12:55, 1 o'clock, maybe 1:05 tops, and then he went up. It takes the average person, I believe, they said, I don't know how long the trail bridge actually is, but I think 10 to 12 minutes, depending on how scared you are. Now, this was Abby's first time walking it, and she had her hands in her pockets. Now, I don't know if she was doing that for the photo or what, but she was even fearless for, 13 years old, but he had his hands in his pockets and he was moving pretty quick. I mean, it looked like he was on his mission then. Like he already had his mind made up at that point, I think that's why he followed him the entire way, made sure nobody was around, nobody was with him, because if he was already on the side, how does he know, mom and dad aren't over here or somebody, That's why I think he followed him from the very start, and then he knew the entire time, there was no one around. Because why would Abby say to Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? He had to have been following him. I mean, do you think he just started following him from right here? I mean, it's possible. I'm just trying to think, where he would start following him from. If that recording is actually real. Now, I mean, it hasn't been released. So, and that's not what Abby's mother said. Abby's mother said that she heard Libby say to Abby, this is where the trail ends. There's nowhere else to go. That's what she heard in the audio when the police let her listen to the rest of the audio. She said, you can't really hear anything. They don't reveal much and you can't see anything. Now, why would she be recording in her pocket? If you can't really hear, hold on. If you can't really hear, that means she probably had it in her pocket or maybe down by her hand, or you're in a conversation. She says, oh, well, this is where the trail ends. Just pretend I got the phone. Because if you're recording or taking photos or something, you would be able to hear that in the recording. So she either had it in her pocket and already recorded Bridge Guy. But why would she record him? Unless that's true. He was already on this side. They cross. They pass somehow. They pass each other. Bridge Guy passes them, Or maybe he was already on the side when they got down, and then maybe he followed them a little bit right here. And then when they get to the end of the trail, is that creepy guy still following us? She says, mm-hmm. And then he turns around and goes back. He turns around to go back to check one more time to make sure nobody's around. Make sure mom and dad aren't there. Make sure there's no family members or anybody. He makes sure nobody's around. And when he's walking back towards them, his mind is made up. I mean, he knew what he was going to do right then and there. And Libby knew her, I think the hairs on the back of her neck came up. They both did. I mean, they were so scared. And then he took them across the creek. Maybe they tried to run, which I really don't think so. I don't think they tried to run. At first, I believe they did. I believe that's how Libby lost her shoe. Apparently, her black Nike shoe was down by the creek, or down here somewhere. I believe, away from the murders. So I thought maybe when she was running, her shoe came off. But I don't think they ran. I think they stayed together the entire time. Excuse me. Yeah, this freaking case, man. This freaking case. And I just keep making videos about it, and it's just, that's not enough. I mean, there's got to be some loophole. There's got to be something to find this guy. I just don't understand. I don't even know if anybody's watching right now. It's almost 1 a.m. So I do apologize. I don't ever do live videos, and this is why I always do the recordings. But it just doesn't make sense to me. And the 3 signatures, one religious related, apparently. What would be the other 2? I mean, and the one religious one, I don't even think that's been confirmed. That I don't believe was confirmed. And people saying he went back there that night. I mean, that would just be too risky. I would think, unless he drove around a few times to make sure no cops were around. And then maybe he even pulled into the cemetery. And then he could always said, oh, I was visiting someone at the cemetery if somebody did pull up on him. And then he went through the cemetery and did his signatures, whatever the hell that was. This guy is just freaking, what a pig. I mean, you son of a bitch. Me harm 2 little girls for no freaking reason. I mean, maybe he did that. That's the only thing I can think of. I just don't see him going back there that same night. And it happened pretty quick because, when the girls were dropped off at 1:30, Derek was there to pick them up at 3:15. And apparently, flannel shirt guy, I believe his name was David McCann, David, flannel shirt guy, I'll say it like that, saw bridge guy before Derek showed up at 3:00. So they were taking probably around 2:15, 2:20. But at that time, I believe that Cheyenne and Cheryl, which my timing could be wrong, but I believe at 2:20, 2:30, Cheyenne and Cheryl were on the bridge. Or right before the bridge. The murders are, what is that, about half a mile, if that, away from the bridge area. Unless it was more up in this area, but I thought it was like down in here. I mean, Delphi, I never been to Indiana except for going in February. My queen and I already ordering the plane tickets soon. But I mean, it just looks like a small town. We have a small town hour out of Vegas. It's called Pahrump. They got like 60,000, but this looks even like 10 times smaller than that. I mean, it looks like farm town for real. And she lives 7 minutes away. And the only thing that what kind of gets me is, in Bridge Guy, I mean, you can't really I mean, you would think that somebody would be able to, recognize him from somewhere. I mean, if he actually lived there, if he lived in Delphi, you would think you would think of every guy that somewhat looks similar to that, I'm assuming, because Delphi's so small. I mean, I would think at least. This guy is such a pig. And she did everything she could. That was, I mean, with this, there's hope of him getting caught. There is. There is some kind of hope. If she didn't do this, I think there would be none. I don't think he would ever get caught, you know, if she didn't do this. I think this is going to really help if they ever catch this guy. But it's been almost 5 years, small town, audio, video. I mean, and if it's such a small town and he's from there, how many people, I'm going to look that up. How many people are in Delphi? You know, if he lives in the immediate city around Delphi, okay, that makes a little bit more sense because, it's, somewhat bigger. But Delphi population 2000 in 2019 it was 2,935, and that was in 2019. This is Delphi. Oh wait, is that Delphi, Greece? Oh wait, that's Delphi, Greece. Hold on. Oh no, that's Delphi, Indiana. 2,935, and that was in 2019. So out of 3,000 people, you know, you would think that you would see somebody of some of this size, I would think, or everybody of this size definitely question them. I mean, but to me, I mean, I guess that could technically be anybody, but to me, it looks like a heavy set guy. I would think. I know the first sketch was, an older man, which what I thought the first sketch was way more accurate than the second one, but that looks like someone around 35 to 45. Heavy set, but he has a bunch of clothes underneath, but just the way his, you know, posture, I guess, definitely heavy set. What he's wearing. Oh man. Oh, by the way, Kings and Queens, check out the new sweaters from Bad Habits Laundry. Go ahead and email me at badhabitsking@gmail.com and I'll make sure you get a t-shirt. Buy my t-shirt. I'll give you one of these for free when you subscribe. I just ordered, so check it out. Bad Habits. Yeah, Kings and Queens, I love you. 3,000 population. Oh, sorry, I didn't see I had comments. Oh, cool. God, I didn't even realize anybody was watching this late. You guys are awake at 1 a.m. Vegas time? Or maybe they're not watching anymore. What is VUR? FYI, I don't know what VUR is. I don't think I'll ever be solved before your police made too many mistakes early on in the investigation. That's definitely a high possibility for sure. I mean, it's been so long. It's been 5 years. Ace Spades. I mean, that's a cool name, by the way, too. Out here in Vegas, that's definitely a good one. I mean, 5 years, that's a long, long time. It's going on 5 years in a few weeks. You would think by now they would have definitely, and all they keep doing is people of interest, people of interest, people of interest, people of interest. And I think they do that in a way just to let us know they haven't stopped doing the investigation. But I truly believe that that's why they do it, because they only do people of interest, people of interest, people of interest. I mean, they haven't ever said, this guy's our prime suspect, except for the guy on the bridge. That's it. That's all they ever say. I think it's in the works of a serial killer. That's definitely a possibility too. I mean, that's what I like is people giving their opinions, giving your ideas, giving your theories, and don't be afraid to do it on anybody else's channel too. I know there's some YouTubers out there that'll be like, no, that's not right. That's not true. Or that's, you don't have, your opinion, your theory might be definitely right. So, I mean, for real, I mean, it really could be a serial killer. I mean, he definitely is cold enough to be one. And that was the thing. I have seen other YouTubers go about this case, and they said that they think the Delphi was the first time he's done this, which that could be possible. They think it's the only time he could do this. Me personally, I would think he's definitely done this before, or at least child molestation before. Definitely, that's why I thought this Anthony Shots was definitely someone that really did it, at first, because Anthony Shots, was, and I didn't even realize they searched his home. I think it was 2 weeks after the murders happened. 2 weeks, even though they said that it had nothing to do with the Delphi case. Seems a little weird, that doesn't make sense to me, especially the signatures. Do you guys by chance know what the signatures are? Have they released that at all? Because the reason why I asked is because apparently there was one religious one, and I just don't know where that information came from. And what do you guys think, that he went back that night, or do you think he left the signatures like why he did the murders? Because there's a lot of people that actually believe he went back that night. And let me know if you do. Really, I really want to know if you actually think he went back that night. Because I mean, it's just something else. It really is. Somebody asked me, they sent me an email the other day asking me, do I think, or it wasn't the other day, it was a while ago, but they asked me, do I think that the bridge guy watches YouTube videos? Yes. I'm not saying he watches my videos per se, but yes, I think he watches the videos about the Delphi case. I think he watches it quite a bit too. I think that's how he finds out information, besides the news, of course. But like, he knows when people are, I don't know. I just think he gets off by watching the YouTube videos. I'm not saying he watches mine. I highly doubt he does, but I'm just saying, the known really big people when it comes to this case, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that go over the Delphi case. I'm not saying he watches them all, but I'm sure at some point, he definitely watches them. And I think he watches them quite a bit. That's just my personal opinion, Yeah. No, Six Pack, he's not human. He's definitely not human. I mean, you can't get worse than this. I mean, they're babies pretty much. Little kids, it's just horrible. It's horrible. 3,000 population, yeah. So that's probably what it is now. In 2019, it was 2,935, so it's probably a little over that, but now, yeah. So in 2017, wonder what it was in 2017. That's what I want to look up. In 2017, what was the population? Because I'm not saying, he might have not actually lived there, but maybe he had a family member that lived there, and he's been there so many times in life, visiting family members, maybe his grandparents, or maybe his dad or something lived there, and he would visit every summer, something like that. Maybe it was something like that. And that's why they can't pin him in Delphi. He was only there visiting. 2017 Delphi population. Okay, that's weird. It says in 2017, it says there was 3,015 people, 1,161 households, 748 families. Oh, that confuses me. Definitely. 2 little girls go missing in a small town. The first thing LE said was that they suspected no foul play. Come on. It's a small town. If they not in a 3-block radius, there's definitely foul play. Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know he said that. He said there wasn't foul. Oh yeah, they didn't assume foul play at first. They figured the girls ran away or they got lost or they fell and got hurt or something. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay, you're right. Yeah, I mean that small town. They should definitely. Even if the girls, got wandered off of something, they need to take that seriously. That's one thing that I can't stand. I mean, out here, I mean, anywhere, when a minor goes missing, oh, they probably ran away. That's literally the first thing they say, no matter what the age are. Like literally, I heard a cop saying, "How old is he? 8 years old. Oh, he probably ran away. 8 years old? He did not run away." I mean, they should jump on it like it's the worst possible thing ever when it comes to minors. I mean, it doesn't matter if they ran away or not. They need to take it like they were kidnapped by, some cult, and they need to jump on it before they disappear, and that bothers me, They don't expect foul play. Yeah, he was definitely wrong, wasn't he? I mean, I bet he's regretting that one, and I don't think they have a whole lot of information. Me personally, I don't think they have a lot of information. I think they have more than what they're releasing, and I don't know why. Apparently they won't release any more because it only the killer would know about it. It's like you can at least tell us how the girls died. Yeah, I get it. They'll have false confessions, so I get that's why they're not doing it. But there's only so many ways. I mean, you'll have false confessions probably anyway. I mean, I totally get it. And guys, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I appreciate you guys' comments and stuff. I really do. It's so late. I don't even know where you guys are at, but out here in Vegas, it's 1 a.m., 1:12. This case, literally, this is the time the other night, 2 nights ago, I went to bed at like 11:30 at night, woke up at 12:30, 12:45, I believe it was, and I had a nightmare about the case. And I'm like, man, and I was literally on the computer until 6 a.m. And so I finally had to go get some rest. Thank goodness it was my day off, because I was like, just like, man, it just, it's like that itch you can't scratch. I think I don't know if it's because the guy got away or because I have a little girl or what, but it's just like knowing he's still out there. He is out there right now. Right now, walking the streets, I would think after this long he would get cocky, personally, One second. Babe, there's something making noise in here. Are you cooking? It's making noise. You're cooking at 1 a.m.? My queen, guys. My queen. Oh, for our baby's birthday. She's 2 years old today. It's foul play to be proven otherwise. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's how they need to take it every time when it comes to minors. Don't you agree with that, queen? When it comes to minors, no matter what they assume, it should be taken as foul play until otherwise. Like, like somebody was kidnapped, because all the cops, every time, they believe it's like a runaway or they just got lost or they wandered off somewhere. They're at a friend's house. They don't take it seriously like there was a kidnapping. There's this or they're murdered or anything like that. They never do that at first. Never. No matter what the case is, that's what I don't get it. I don't get it. They called off the search that same night. I mean, why would you call off the search? I'm 1 hour and 50 minutes from that site. You're 1 hour and 50 minutes from Delphi? No. My queen and I will be out there around the anniversary. We're flying out. That's what my Valentine's gift is to her, is to fly out to Delphi for the anniversary of the girls. It's 4:13 here in Springfield, Massachusetts. Just got home from work about 30 minutes ago. Laugh out loud. Ace of Spades, you definitely have a cool name. That's definitely a Vegas name, bro. That's definitely a Vegas name. Out here in Vegas, they would definitely love that. Springfield, Massachusetts. I always wanted to go to Boston. I always wanted to go to Boston, Massachusetts. You know, I'm Irish, so that could be why. He said laugh out loud. And you work real late. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I agree. You know, they definitely should. When it comes to minors, I mean, when it comes to anybody, should pretty much they should definitely take it serious. I remember. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, Breakdown with Kurt Russell. It's an old movie. I'm gonna be 34 in March, so I'm old. Okay, but basically, his wife disappeared. She was kidnapped by truckers, or by a little group that pretty much robbed travelers and stuff. And the cops in there are always like, maybe she ran away from you. Did you guys get into a fight? She probably divorced you. Cops think that at first too. Your wife ran away. No, she was kidnapped, dude. You know, I mean, it's just crazy. It really is crazy, and it happens all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, and it really really bothers me so much. Especially when it comes to minors. You know, not too long ago, it's been about 6 months, I think. Um, there was a little boy. I think he was 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old, out here in Vegas, and his mother was in Arizona, and he was, his mom's boyfriend was watching him. His mom broke up with her boyfriend over the phone. Now, remind you, he's 2 or 3 years old, baby. His name was Amari Nicholson, and his mom boyfriend had a history of abuse of her and the baby. She broke up with him over the phone. He beat the baby to death. Beat him to death. When it comes to harming kids, that is something I just can't stand. 2 or 3 years old, you're a baby. I mean, they don't even know any better. And I see it all the time. All the time. I see people dragging their kids or yelling at them and stuff. They don't know any better. They're kids. Abby and Libby were two young kids that weren't bothering anybody. They weren't bothering anybody. It's horrible. They should be searching all day and all day, night long. Yes, they definitely should have. They should have never called that search off. They should have never have called that search off. I don't know why they did. That was the worst thing. I mean, I know that outcome probably wouldn't have made a difference, but why would you call the search off? I don't know how the families didn't stay out there. Birthday goes away. 1:30. How your family members? How would they not be out there? I mean, you couldn't drag me away from there. You could not drag me away from there. It just doesn't work that way, It just doesn't work that way. Those signatures are kind of resemble alphabet killer because their names in the last three letters by BBY resemble the alphabet killer. Yeah, here the alphabet killer because their names in BBY. Abby, Libby. Oh. Wow, I didn't realize that. Abby, Libby. Yeah. Wow. Wow, I just realized that. Abby, Libby, the BBY. Wow, that's something. I had no idea. Wow. I am so happy you said that. I never ever realized that the BBY. That's crazy. I mean, I just don't get it. This guy is just so. I mean, he's just. I wish he would let me zoom in on this, but I mean, like, look at. I mean, He definitely has his hand in his pockets. That looks like something right there, but it could be a shirt, could be something. But I thought it was something right there. Right here is where it looks like a firearm to me. That's what I thought was a gun. Now I could be wrong on this for sure, but that's what I thought was a gun right there. Does that look like a watch, or is just an ending of the jacket? That could be just his jacket part, but that looks like a watch right there. It does not look like he has gloves on to me. Those look like bare hands. I heard people say that he had gloves on. Right there looks like bare hands, both of them. Right there, and right there. Definitely a white male, and that looked like a gun for me. Looks like, and this the outfit is what the homeowner, or excuse me, the property owner described when she was walking her dogs. She ran into him and described this guy perfectly. She said he had a thin mustache. I think it was strawberry brown blonde hair or brownish hair, or I think it was a straight mustache, something like that, but not blue eyes. And the photo I showed you guys earlier, it looked like he had blue eyes to me, but that could be the light, the sun or the lighting because the video so far, the photo so far, but that's what it looked like to me. Let me see if I can get it to where we go on YouTube here so we can get him walking. And guys, I really appreciate your support. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. On Instagram, Spotify, TikTok. Be our friend on Facebook. We have a Bad Habits Kingdom on Facebook, just so you guys know. We like to have friends. All right, here we go. So let me go back here. All right, stop sharing and then share.
Guys. 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 Guys.
He's moving.
Guys. Guys.
I mean, they slow it down on purpose, but he's moving pretty quick. This is right here. For a minute. Right here, his mind is made up. He knows what he's going to do. This is just what I'm assuming. Right there, that looks like more of a pouch to me. Like those deer hunting kits or whatever. That's what that looks like to me right there at that view. And he's moving. I know he's looking down and everything because the railroad shut this down in 1987. And I mean, dozens of people walk it every year. I'm terrified of heights. I don't think I'd make it 3 steps. So those brave girls, just even by crossing it, brave. Look like he had ripped jeans or something right here, but that could just be the screen or, just the video itself or, that's just what I see right there. Let's see if we still see that right there. Yeah, that looks like a hole in his pants right there. Or it could just be the wrinkle. I don't know if you guys see that as well. That could be just a wrinkle. Maybe it's just a wrinkle or something. Yeah, I don't think it's a hole. He's moving. God, I get so emotional about this case. I mean, knowing that this was her last moments. I mean, I understand that people out there apparently wear that somewhat outfit all the time. That a lot of people wear that similar stuff. See, I thought this was a mustache right here. I thought this was one of those winter hats. Oh, sorry. Those winter hats that go like over the ears. Yeah, and they're like flappy. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. And that's what I thought that was. I didn't think that was a hoodie, or I didn't think there was a scarf anywhere around here. I guess right here maybe they're saying that's a scarf. I think his face is playing in the open, and he's coming. I mean, he's moving so fast.
Guys. Guys.
I mean, right there. Look how fast he was moving. I know they slow it down for the video effect, but I mean, he's moving
Guys.
right there. They just slow it down on purpose, but he's got his mind made up right there. His mind is made up right there. You know, it's just, it looks like a 45 caliber. And it's a pistol. His eyes are up close. Looks like he has a glass eye. Yeah, it could be a glass eye. I didn't even think of that. Then I'm thinking BG pose as a searcher. Yes, I believe that he was part of the search party as well. I thought that for a long time. If that's what you mean, six pack. I believe that too. I believe that for a long time that he was part of the search party. I truly do. I want to go back to this one. It looks like a 45 caliber in the right pocket, right? So you see that too? I'm happy you see that too, because I thought, wait, he like right. I mean, it looks like he has something right there, you know, for sure. You know, in that video, can you hear one or two girls screaming? In this video, no. In the audio, nothing. I don't hear any screams. I have heard people say that they have heard screams, two girls screaming. I've heard people say they've heard stuff like that before. Me personally, I just don't. And I've listened to that audio and watched that video a million times, literally. I mean, I think about this case all the time, and I don't hear anything like that. I've tried to search for it. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't think you guys will be able to see it. It's on my last video, but I have it where Abby's mother is talking. Abby's mother, and she's saying that she was able to see, she was able to hear more of the audio, and that she heard, she couldn't really hear what the girls were saying. And it didn't reveal much, but she heard Abby say, or Libby say to Abby, this is where the trail ends. Where's it at? Here we go. I'm going to try to play it on my phone. I do apologize about this if you guys won't be able to hear it real good, but here we go. It's on my last video of Delphi too, if you haven't seen it. Yeah, on where the killer is. Here we go.
Because it contains information that would only be known to their killer. Abby's mother is allowed to see some of them. It says they don't reveal much.
Libby says something like, well, the path ends here, so we can't go any farther. You're just kind of going by. You have no idea what their actual feelings are because you can't really hear anything or see anything.
Please confirm.
So when I first heard that, I thought they didn't record Bridge Guy yet, but they were aware of him. I didn't think that that's when Abby said to Libby, is that creepy guy still following us? Because that's what they were trying to find a way to escape. That's why I thought for the longest time, Bridge Guy followed them few moments after they were dropped off. And I know people disagree with me on this, but I still believe that. And I know I've talked about him being on the other side of the bridge and that it's really possible, which it is. It really is, but most people believe that he was actually on the other side of the bridge. Everyone says that, and it is. What the heck is that? I don't know what that is, buddy. Yes, I see the imprint of a gun. I'm so happy you said that because I've said that so many times. I've said that in that jacket that it looks like there's a gun in there. And there's so many people that have shown that to, and they're like, I can't see it. I don't see it. Thank you, Six Pack. Thank you, Six Pack. I'm so happy you saw that, man. Oh, I'm assuming you're a man. I'm just guessing, Six Pack. But yeah, I swore I swear I see it every time I see a like something right there that it looked like a gun to me. You know, it just is. Another question is he's wearing a hunting camouflage hoodie. Yes. Mm, exactly. I mean, you know, it just this case is just horrible. I mean, it really is, you know. And honestly, I really don't think I really have doubts of them getting assault. I really do. And it drives me nuts thinking about it, you know. I think they're just hoping for a confession or for somebody to recognize them and turn them in. And the thing is that they get so many tips, you know. I mean, you know, thousands a day. Apparently, I think it's thousands a day. I mean, I could be wrong on that amount, but they get a lot of tips, so you know that they're not looking in every single tip. You know, there's one person, I'm not gonna say his name, but he swears it's his dad. You know, his dad's dead, but apparently he contacted Delphi many times telling him about it. He's contacted me about it. He's contacted Anthony Greeno about it. Real Chill GRAZ about it. Great Hudges. I mean, he swears it's his dad. You know, so you know, it's definitely something, you know. And I notice he has a skull around that deer package somewhere. I didn't know that. I didn't see that. Let me pull it back up. I don't see it. I don't see a skull. You mean like right here? Gosh, it won't let me zoom in. That's why I wear glasses though. I can't see. So I mean, you might be right. I mean, maybe he has something there. I just can't see. You mean like a skull sticker or something? I don't know. He's not real tall from this angle, but she's at a distance. I mean, she's not close to him. She's far. You know, unless there would be a lot clearer picture. You know, they're still far away. Maybe she tried to zoom in a little bit on her phone. Is her phone at her hip? Or is she actually like this? Because I thought the reason why we can hear his voice is when he got closer, she put it in her pocket and kept it recording. That's why I thought there was 10 times more audio. You know, she put it in her back pocket or in her front pocket, and there was more audio than just guys down the hill. Personally, I think there's a lot more audio than just guys down the hill. I mean, you know, it's on the sleuth video. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I'm happy you said that. I didn't know there was a skull on there. That's what it is, right? The deer hunting pack or something like that. You know, that's what I thought it is. You know, I mean, this guy's just. I think he pulled the fire on him right when he walked up to him like that. But he had to have been following him on the. Why would Abby say, is that creepy guy still following us? If it was, you know, because he went back on the bridge, you know, when she said, this is where the trail ends. She said, this is where the trail ends. There's nowhere else to go. And then I believe in the message or whatever that I saw, you know, where the people were saying this, there was other audio. Abby said, where were we going to go? God, man, this freaking guy. They have video, they have audio, they have photo, and they can't catch him. I just hit my glasses. I'm not used to these things. And they can't catch him. They can't catch him. That's what bothers me so much. I know he ain't never gonna get caught. Hopefully he turns himself in, you know. That's the only thing I can think of happening. You know, I just don't see him catching them on their own investigation. That's why I think they should release more information. I know they're worried about false confessions, but if you want the audit, you know, them keeping it so close to the chest, it's been 5 years. Obviously, their investigation's not working the way they want to do it. You know, give us a little bit more information. Give us a little bit more audio. Even if it's not good audio, maybe somebody else can hear it. Maybe somebody else can hear it better than you can, or see something better on video if there was more video. You know, give us a little bit more. Why you played it for the families, play it for the public. Maybe they can hear it. And apparently they won't release more audio because it only contains to their killer. What does that mean? Because apparently I thought maybe the murders were on the recording, was on the phone. And apparently, I don't know if it was Anthony Greeno or somebody else. They asked the police, is the murders recorded? And the police said no. Okay. So why don't you, if it only contains to the murder, the killer, why won't you tell us about it? Why won't you release it to us? Obviously, it's not working the way you guys want it to work. You guys only giving us 4 words in a second long video, 3-second video. It's not gonna get it solved. It's been almost 5 years. Give us a little bit more, man. Give us a little bit more. Get us a little bit more. I mean, I'm sorry, but it should have been solved close to 2018. They have evidence and DNA. That's the and DNA. Exactly. They have evidence, they have DNA, they have audio, they have video. You know, I get it. Delphi is a small city. They don't know how to do investigations, but they got the FBI involved in this. They got, you know, Disney Studios involved on the computer tech to see if they can enhance his face. How can they not solve this? You know, give it to the CIA or something. Give it to the analysts that can figure this thing out, because if they want the public's help, they just got to give us more information. They don't have to give us everything, but more. You know, you got to release something else. You know, guys down the hill isn't enough. You know, it's not enough. I'm telling you, his eyes creep my wife out. When I zoomed in on his face, somebody knows who he is. Yeah, it does look creepy, that photo of him. Let me see if I still have it. I think I took it off already. Yeah, I took it off already. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's on my last 2 videos that I did. The one I did of Ron Logan today, and the one from last night on where the killer is. And I did that zoom in footage, and that does creep you out, because it looks like a blue eye, and it looks like he's like got it like this, you know, like it's squint down, like he's like targeted on. I mean, it gave me chills too. It really does. So, I mean, your wife's not the only one that gets scared by that thing. It freaked me out too. You know, and I don't know. I mean, hopefully they kiss this guy. I mean, somehow. I just think they should give us a little bit more information and stop with the people of interest. The cops need to stop doing that. That's all they keep doing. This is a person of interest. This is a person of interest. This is a person of interest. Ron Logan, Paul Etter, Daniel Nations, Eric, the pastor guy, Ron Logan's person. What was the guy's name? The meth head that stayed at Ron Logan's house for a while. That guy. Anthony Schatz, James Brian Chadwell. I mean, all these people of interest, you know, they just keep doing that every few months. People of interest. It's like, okay, you know, and every time that happens, all of us, everybody that cares about the case and that's involved with the case, like watching it and stuff, you know, we jump on it right away because we're hoping it's finally done. It's finally solved. It's finally going to get solved. This is the guy. This is the reason. Same thing with James Bryan Shadwell. Just like I talked about it before. You know, he lived nearby. He liked it in the woods. The one tattoo looked literally like Libby, you know, crying. You know, I mean, everything. He's capable of murder. His family even said that. He's done time. The crime he was arrested for, you know, everything looked like he was the guy. And then it turned out it wasn't. You know, this guy, Keegan Klein, who pisses me off because he was actually out here in Vegas. Keegan Klein, you know, his father's house was searched 2 weeks after the murders happened. Apparently, he was in contact with Libby 2 months prior to the murders. December 2016, he liked one of her photos on Instagram, I believe it was. I think he sent her a DM message pretending to be Anthony Shots, you know, and it's just one thing after another with the person of interest. And the only reason why I think the person of interest is, like I said earlier today, they just want us to say that they're still looking at people, you know. Honestly, when this one broke out, I thought it was going somewhere. I really did. But you know, it shouldn't have taken almost 5 years to get this Instagram, you know, guy. You know, they already knew, you know, they searched his house 2 weeks prior. I mean, they should have known he's been arrested for this before. They should have known who he was, and it shouldn't have taken this long. I mean, to arrest Keegan Klein. Shouldn't have. You know, it's just, you know, is I would say, you know, from that photo, I would say like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". I don't think he's real tall. You know, that's just me personally. You know, I could be terribly wrong. He's also in the distance. You know, he's far away. The walking and everything, I would say around 5, you know, between 5'8" to 5'10", maybe 11. I don't think he's 6 foot. He could be, you know, I mean, he could be 6'3", but I mean, I'm just saying, for example, I think he's between like 5'8" and 5'9", 5'11", you know, most. That's just me. They keep bringing up POIS, WTF, POIS. I don't know what POIS is, but you know, yeah, they just bring up these person of interest, and it's just it's you know, it's just, it is what it is, you know. I'm thinking 6'1", looks like a big dude, but not human. Yeah, he could be 6'1". Like I said, you know, I mean, you got to remember that's from a distance too, you know, and people get bigger when they get closer, you know, and he looked pretty nice size from that distance. So you could definitely be right on that. He could be 6'1", you know. I mean, that, I think he's heavy set for sure. I know he had clothes on underneath the jackets, you know. One thing I did like that Anthony Greeno did on one of his videos is that, you know, apparently Bridge Guy's jeans were wet, right, from crossing the creek and everything. And flannel shirt guy didn't notice that when he, you know, walked past him when he saw him. And I would say, how can you not notice that someone's jeans are wet? You know, you can easily tell if somebody's jeans are wet. But Anthony Greeno on True Crime Investigates actually did a video where the jeans are wet could just look like darker jeans. And then basically asked the last guy you walked past what color was his jeans or something. I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty good, you know, thing, because the last guy I passed, I couldn't tell you what color his jeans were. And the wetness looked like dark jeans. I mean, he did a really good presentation on that, you know, reenactment. I gotta give it to Greeno sometimes, you know. I do watch Greeno and support him and stuff, so hopefully he's doing all right, you know. Oh, that's one thing I gotta say, you know. I know I done the video. I actually deleted it, but I did a video about the Greeno and Ray Hudges beef and stuff. All that gotta stop. All this drama between YouTubers when it comes to the Delphi case, everybody should be working together on this. everybody should be supporting each other. Everybody should be giving each other ideas and theories, and honestly help each other solve the case. Because at the end of the day, I think it's going to be the public that does it. I don't think it's going to be the cops. And I think that's what the cops are hoping for. But they just got to give us a little bit more info, personally. It's just, Then I'm thinking he walks with a limp. Some different. I wondered that before too. What the heck is that? I heard someone on my patio for a second. That's weird. I did think that too. What's it called? I thought he walked with like a limp or defective for a minute, because the way he's walking, it looks like his leg is like turned in, like one of his foots to me. I was wondering that too, so I'll give you that. Please stop the beef. We need to solve this case. I have children, those girls' ages. Yeah, the beef stuff needs to end. Everybody needs to stop beefing. I actually think they're doing a lot better on it. I do know that Real Chill Grays and Gray Hudges squashed it, apparently, from the last one of the videos I saw. So I'm really happy about that, because me and Real Chill Grays, we email each other quite often. Him and I communicate very well. We're actually going to be doing a video together, which really excited for. But him and I are going to be collaborating on a video like this, so can't wait for that. And I actually apologized to Gray Hudges. I sent him an email. He responded back as well, because the video I did about their Greeno and Gray Hudges beef, I was pretty much just bad mouthing Gray Hudges. I was bad mouthing them and just making things up off the top of my head. I didn't even know if they were true or not. I didn't do enough research. And after I did that live video, I deleted it right away because I felt so horrible, because I was really just taking Greeno's side. I wasn't talking about the beef itself. And I reached out to Gray Hudges the next day on an email, and he did respond back saying, he appreciates the apology because he actually saw the video while it was going on. And I told him I was wrong and all this stuff. And basically he gave me advice on future videos, and he was really, really cool about it, and I really appreciate him getting back to me, because honestly, I thought there was going to be an issue there. But yeah, everybody, all the YouTubers, and not just YouTubers, anybody, when they're trying to help get this case solved, there shouldn't be any issues, shouldn't be beefing, bad mouthing, disrespect. Everybody should be squashing beef, working together, giving each other ideas, and getting the case solved. You have two girls, the girls' age. I have a little girl who turned 2 years old today, the 25th. She just turned 2 years old today. And I think it's really important everybody tries to help each other when it comes to this case. The police aren't going to do it. I mean, they would have done it, I would say, by now. They're hoping for confession, and they're hoping for us. That's just my opinion. It's been almost 5 years. I mean, it's time's up, who never turned himself in and pay for what he's done. I hope he does turn himself in. I actually told my queen that today. I was like, what? I really hope this guy just turns himself in, I mean, it's been long enough, but he won't. I know there's people that confess to crimes years after, but this guy won't do it. He looks at it like, how would I say? Like a rubbing in the face type deal, because he knows they have video, he knows they have his audio, he knows they have his photo, he knows we all do these videos about him, and he sits back and smiles and thinks, haha, you still can't catch me. That's what I think he does, personally. What time is it? Oh man, it is 2 a.m. All right, kings and queens, we are gonna be ending this live video. I just want to say thank you guys so much. Six Pack, I really appreciate talking to you, bud. Ace of Spades, I like that name. And those are only 2 comments I saw. The other comments I saw, I couldn't really understand, so I do apologize about that. Where is that? Like this? I have no idea what this is. I couldn't pronounce your name or anything, so I do apologize about that. But I really appreciate your guys' comments. I really, really do. And you know, it really means a lot to me when you guys support the channel, support the videos and stuff, especially when it comes to this case. But if you guys ever want to do a collab, let me know. Email me at badhabitsking@gmail, and we can make something happen on StreamYard or Zoom or whatever. You know, we can talk about this case a little bit more and go over some stuff. And I also do entertainment videos too. I don't just do Delphi. Delphi is the only video I do when it comes to true crime. That's all I would do. I know I've done true crime videos in the past and stuff, but I've done the Evansdale and stuff. But true crime, when it comes to true crime, I'm only doing Delphi until it gets off. The other stuff is more just entertainment stuff. And we just ordered a camera so it can be more reality stuff when we get it in. So I can't wait for that. But that's it, kings and queens. Thank you guys so much for all your support and watching this video tonight. I hope you guys are having a good night and stay safe. Six pack and Ace of Spades, get some rest. I know Ace of Spades, you said you got off work. I bet you're sleeping by now. I'm not sure how many other viewers were watching this tonight, but I really appreciate the comments. Six packs. Actually, there's a lot of things I'm happy you said too. I'm happy you said a lot of things because I was like, exactly, the gun, you know, the walk. There's so many things I was thinking, and I thought literally I was the only one. So if you can, let me know where you think Bridge Guy made his, you know, where he was at. Where do you think he was at? Do you think he started following them, you know, a few minutes after they were dropped off? Do you think he started following them after they already crossed the bridge? Where do you think he was originally at? If you can, when you get a moment, go ahead and let me know. Leave it in the comment or email me at badhabitsking@gmail. You guys can also check us out on Instagram, Spotify, Apple. Be our friend on Facebook, Bad Habits Kingdom. You know, TikTok, Instagram. You know, it's pretty cool. But that is it, kings and queens. I did not realize it was 2:00 in the morning, and I love you guys so much for all your support. If you guys would like a free Bad Habits Kingdom t-shirt, you know, I just ordered some more, so let me know, and I will make sure you get it. Just go ahead and email me at badhabitsking@gmail.com, and it will take about a couple weeks actually for you to receive it, but I should receive it by next week, so you got some time. Also, my queen and I are going to be going to the Children's Hospital on, I think, when's Saturday? Saturday's day. I think it's the 30th or the 29th, 28th. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, we're going to be going to the Children's Hospital. So if you would like to help contribute to get toys for the kids at the kids hospital, go ahead and go to the GoFundMe account, the link below. We'd like to go and drop off some toys for the kids. If not, it's totally cool. We understand how it is. We love you guys. You guys stay safe. Have a great night. Thank you so much for all your support. You guys, we'll see you tomorrow.